Good.
All right, I'm gonna talk a little about here, but, I'm gonna introduce you to the, people we have here from Acumatica. They're gonna talk a little bit about the future of Acumatica and what's going on and different things, stuff that you might have missed if you weren't at the summit. I encourage any of the Acumatica people here to go to the summit. You'll learn so much. You're there, you have a good time, and it's a great thing. And this year it's gonna be in Seattle. So, all right, so, go ahead.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Luis Pingador. I've been with the ERP environment since, like my daughters like to say, the 1900s. It was a good experience, been a good experience. Then, as Acumatica, I started with what it was called Solomon Software on those days. Then evolved to Microsoft Dynamics SL. And then now I'm pretty happy working with Acumatica 14 years. I originally from Mexico City, born and raised, so you might notice a little bit of accent at some point and some missing words. And also, if you like to learn something in Spanish, of course I can do that for you as well. With me today, I'm gonna co-present with Emad, hiding right over there. We are going to talk about Acumatica. So this is what we have ready for you. Why ERP? Well, I'm going to start with that. What is the reason why any company or any people, any business should think about an ERP? Then we're going to talk about the Acumatica approach, how it was born, why it's important, why, and all the reasons how Acumatica help all of our businesses. We're talking about Acumatica platform. I'm going to dig deeper into a little bit of the product on how it is built and how Acumatica, rather than being an ERP company, is actually a technology company. And I will show you why. Then we are going to talk about the customer focus. Acumatica is not about a product just to help businesses. We are here for our customers. And we are going to talk about why and how we do that. And at the end of the day, I will talk about the functionality and how Acumatica helps with multiple products and multiple suites that fit better all of your businesses. Okay, so are we ready?
Ready.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay?
Sí, señor.
Perfect. Gracias. Okay, so let's start with why an ERP and why an ERP is important. Of course, we have all these features and capabilities of an ERP, but the one that I like the most is the third one, the source of truth. I'm pretty sure that everybody in their own businesses, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what your business is about. You have multiple people, multiple departments, multiple sources of information. You can have one accounts payable person that likes to work with Excel and likes to control their things their way because they think that their way is the best way. Just because, not this actual reason why, but they need to have that information on their software that is called Excel. Right? I used to say that the best ERP in the world is Excel. Why? Because you can do whatever you want, right? But no, at the end of the day, when we have an ERP, we have a one source of information. And this source of information can be used and accessed by anyone in the company. And everybody have the same exact information. So you don't have to waste time trying to figure out which one is correct. The information on accounts payable or account receivable, or the information in the general ledger, or perhaps the information inventory, and then just spend days and days trying to reconcile who is right, and guess what? None of them are. There is no truth. There is no certain truth because everybody works their own way. So I wanted to focus on that, but of course there are multiple benefits of having an ERP, a centralized ERP that you can use and access anywhere, okay? And also will help you grow. When you are in different departments and you have different information, then you start growing in different ways at different levels. When you have an ERP, everything is centralized and then you start growing and growing and growing. And the ERP will help you working on this particular matter. Now, what is the Acumatica approach? So Acumatica is modern. Let's start with that. A lot of competitors started a long time ago, and their work with servers, clients, networks, and everything. We did not. We started from day one on the cloud. Okay, and we have three main goals as a product, as a company. So the first one, we are focused on small business, small and medium businesses. Okay, why? Because they want to grow. As I said, we help them with the software, with the product, with the technology, grow. You start from having Excel files, Notepad, documents, and all that kind of information, put it in one ERP with help of an implementation and consulting, and then you start putting all the information there, and then you start growing from there. You have what you have right now, yes, and once you have it settled, and once you have it under your control, under everybody on the company's control, then you can start growing. That's what we want for small and medium businesses. And then we will help you focus on a specific vertical solution. We will help you with security. We will help you with all those things. Second, it's all about our partners. Acumatica is one of our oldest and first partners that have helped our customers. We do not sell direct. We don't go to customers and like other competitors and try to help them or implement their software. That's why we have partners. Why? Because we are on this together. Acumatica community is something that we have built for all these years as a whole, and not just about a vendor and a customer. It's all about the relationship and the environment that is all about the community with Acumatica. So this is one of the things that we are really focused. We have our partners, and our partners will focus on your specific needs. We help both our customers and our partners with the product, with the technology, but our partners will help you with your processes, with your business, with your needs, with the specific, perhaps, customization, adjustments that needs to be done on the software and on the customer, because this is a two-way street. Sometimes we need to adjust our business to the product, and we need to adjust the product to our business. And we are in the middle of that, and both complement each other. That's a successful implementation and a successful use of the product. So that's another thing. And the last one, 100% born in the cloud. Okay. Previously, we were talking about security, right? Security and all the things that the pandemic bring, all the issues, what having information isolated in a server, that it was in the kitchen on my business, and so on. So that helped being on the cloud and having 100% technology to work in the cloud will help to prevent those kind of things. Well, those kind of issues that somebody spilled the coffee on the server, now we're done, and we don't have a backup, and we don't have any process. So those things happen when you work on a server client environment, as we used to do in the previous years. Now, how can we help? We go from old technology, network and processes and servers and technology and so on. And then we start helping you going through the process of a digital transformation. And it's not that hard. At the end of the day, there are a lot of words, digital and some technology, and companies, they don't care about that. There are tools. We will help you on that. We'll help you go through a business analog, fancy word, right? And then we go to the digital part of the business. How? going through with you and help you implement all these features and all this functionality going through. And at the end of the day, you can be secure, you can be easy access and all those benefits that the cloud brings out to you to help out. Now, the cloud. When I'm working with new people that start working with us, I always want have them explain. How do you explain the cloud to someone that is not technological or technical? How do you explain the cloud? The cloud is easy. The cloud is full access. You have internet, you can have full access. So we have a lot of benefits using and being on the cloud. The first one, high availability. Okay. Remember the old days, we had to connect, go to the office, go on a very slow modem with this noise and connect, and then wait for it, and so on. And then we have to be on a specific place to do that. Nowadays, we have phones, we have laptops, we have everything. Of course, it can backfire because when somebody says, oh, I'm going to be off, well, you're really not off, or at least I can't. You actually are connected all the time, checking your email, checking your approvals, because of course, somebody has to approve a big purchase order, and it goes through all these steps, and now you are the last one, and you are on a cruise, or you are having fun somewhere, and then you have them, and then on the phone, you review it, and then you're happy, you approve everything, right? But at the end of the day, you have the accessibility or the availability to do that anyway. So that's the first one. Remote collaboration. This is a connected solution. It's a little bit of what I told before. Everything has the same source of information. Everybody works with the same thing, and they talk the same language. Of course, people and every department has their own goals. I want to pay, I do not want to pay. Right? That's a different story, and no ERP is going to fix that. But at least at the end of the day, they all have the same information, how much it has to be paid. The same amount. I don't want to, but I do, but it's the same amount, right? So we have the same language, and we can collaborate each other when we are talking about the same source of information. Mobility, of course, I already mentioned a little bit of this. You can access from any device. Nowadays, you just need a browser, you just need some internet connection, and then you will be able to do it. It doesn't even have to be that fast. That's another thing that will give you the availability. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, I need to have, I don't know, 1 gig of bandwidth, and it has to be super fast. No, you just connect to whatever Wi-Fi or whatever cell phone service, and then you will be okay. Security. We already heard how is this important? Okay, so we have two options. The most important thing that we need to make sure that we have is the SaaS environment. Okay, Acumatica invests a lot of resources to help you and every business and every customer that is on our SaaS environment to be okay. Completely okay. We have firewalls, we have software, we have servers, we have everything on the cloud, and everything is protected. You have no clue how many attacks we receive per hour. So many. How many they have killed? How many customers have been affected? None. Because we block everything. So this is really, really important. Nowadays, this is as I forgot your name. Fine. He mentioned they are working and they are evolving to get better every single day. And you have to be secure. Acumatica will help you with that. You have your information. That's cool. That's the biggest key, the biggest part of everybody's business. If it's in a SaaS environment, completely protected, that will make you okay, and you don't have to worry about that. about your business information. You will have to worry about your local emails and functionality and those, but that part of it, of the database, that part of the information is completely secure on our SaaS environment. And that's that's just one level. On the other hand, the product itself has functionality. You can filter by IP. You can set up the multi-factor authentication. You can set up rules to log in, the password rules. It has to be this long, and it has to be this password 123. That's not going to work. You need to put and design a very good password for you to be able to log in. So that's the security. And of course, the open standards. What we've always been trying to do since the creation of Acumatica is to be a standard in the market of technology. This is not something that is, Acumatica is not designed on something that is property. It's common technology. So if that technology evolves, we evolve with it, and we help everybody evolve with that particular technology. So this is part of what we do and how we work with Acumatica. Now, as I mentioned before, Acumatica is not just an ERP. Acumatica is a technology company. Technology company, what does that mean? That we work with an Acumatica platform. And over that platform, it's Acumatica ERP. And over that Acumatica ERP and over that particular platform, there are other functionality, products, and the technology that can be put on top of it. And that's why it's important to have the standards, because all our ISV people that design their products, they integrate with Acumatica easily. They do not have to create a specific something that needs to work with Acumatica particularly, and they cannot use anywhere else. It's just a common platform that it will have the ERP on top of it, and it can have all these features on top of it. And they integrate each other seamlessly. We already have a lot of those into the product, and you just have to create an account with UPS, and then the software will help you integrate your shipments there. We can have an integration with Microsoft Teams. You can have the information from the CRM and use it on Microsoft Teams and so on. So there are a lot of products now that are completely integrated with the product, and that will help you again grow and evolve on your digital transformation as it is. Now, let's continue with complete security and high availability.
Hello, everyone. This is Ahmad. You guys can hear me? That's good. All right. I've been with Acumatica for 6 years. Started as a project manager, and now we have a team of project management that helps work with partners to get customers live and going. So I'm not much on the configuration and technical side of Acumatica. I know enough, but I could get in trouble by talking too much about it. I focus more on getting the implementation done and tracking tasks and making sure, we get the customer live and happy and get the partner successful as well. So I'm here to present also with Luis. I have a couple of slides to talk about. So moving, I know you heard a lot about security and availability. I might add a little bit to what's been discussed. We have in Acumatica, and Luis did bring this up as well. We have you can look at different layers or levels of security. One of them is on the application level, and this is where you can set up users. If you go in Acumatica, you go to the workstation, you can get some of the security module and set up by screen, set up by user, and set up by every single field that you want. No worries, because you can start as simple as setting up a user as an accounts payable, right? So this is available for you. But for some customers or companies, they want to have more specific where they want users to be able to see reports, edit reports. And so you have the option, and sometimes too much flexibility might be overwhelming, but you have that option, right? So that's on the application level, but also on the infrastructure level, like Luis mentioned, and we have the SaaS. We have a lot of security here, talking about like Amazon Web Servers, where their multi-layer approach and their network encryption and things like that. And of course the high availability. So if we look here, we have like the enterprise grade security features such as server-side logic, detailed access control. We have complete model of all aspects of the application. So that's pretty much what we had. I think you have the. I'll move that. That's okay. Yep. This is also like the remote access, talking about remote access and the AI machine learning. These comes hand in hand. Remote by itself, we know, we talked about this, you'll be able to have, using your mobile, your iPad, your computer, anywhere, access to it. But also there is the AI technology. The ML, machine learning and AI, I know was brought up earlier. So just in general, artificial intelligence is what we try to have machines look like or act as a human. And machine learning is a subfield of AI, right? This is where it learns by, through supervised, unsupervised methodologies and things like that. So Acumatica, you probably, I don't know if any of you saw this last summit, there was a lot of focus around the AI because that's where the future is. And there's a lot of work happening where you can have voice commands, will make it easier for users that don't know how to use the system, because now they can speak the natural language, right, to the machine and try to get things done. I can envision, I mean, like I said, I've been with Acumatica for 6 years, and I've seen how much they focus on technology, more than sales, actually, because we have our partners, right? So majority of our employees are really focusing on technology and programming. And I can see in the future, you can just say, hey, Acumatica, create me a sales order with ABC, right? And it might do all the process for you. I can see them heading that direction.
And let me emphasize a little bit of this AI thing, because everybody is talking about AI. AI here, AI there, and everything. This is like the hype now. When last year I was actually in Mexico with some partners there, and one of them I said, hey, you haven't talked about AI. True, I didn't talk about AI because for us, AI has been there for a while. How? We have some functionality in the software that actually reads, can read and detect your documents. For example, you have an AP invoice, accounts payable invoice, you scan it, and then Acumatica will go through the software, go through the document, and they will populate and create a document for you. So you don't have to type it, and you don't have to do anything. It will detect automatically which vendor is, which amount, which date, and which items, and then they will create the document for you. That's AI. Before even it was AI in the rest. Another thing, you have expenses, right? You go to an event and you have to pay the bill for a restaurant or a meeting or whatever. You have an expense. We had, before this AI had, scan it on the phone, on the app, on Acumatica, to scan your receipt, and then that receipt will become an expense receipt in the software, and then you can use it to create your expense claim. And we'll do the same thing. We'll see what is there, what the amounts, the dates, the place, all these things, and we'll help you from there. Before the AI. So we were before doing all those things, and every time, as Matt said, evolve in the product and grow in the product and making it better to have all this functionality. So nowadays that everybody's talking about AI, yeah, we have to talk about AI, but we already work on that and we already have all those things. Now it's gonna be better because, as Matt said, machine learning, we already have now one of our support agents that is actually we're trying and teaching the application of the algorithm, because of course, AI is artificial intelligence, but somebody has to teach, right? And who knows better? Us. So we are working on that and having the machine learn all those things in order for us to help our customers and partners to get answers better and faster. That's one functionality that we do have. And another one is the one embedded in the software that Matt was mentioned about the summit last year, or this year, that you have an AI agent in the software. You click the button there, and then you ask, hey, I want to do this, and then it builds a dashboard, a GI or something, or it brings you the information that you are looking for automatically. We are working on that, and that's the future that we were talking about of the evolution of the digital transformation.
Yep. Yeah, thank you, Luis. No, that's great. Great stuff to add on. Okay, so we have the next topic is about customer focus and how Acumatica focuses on customers along with the partners. So we have what we call the customer bill of rights, and that's something pretty much Acumatica and of course the partners take it seriously. So looking at this first one, software and services has a clear fee structure. So nothing is hidden. There is a straightforward, if you look at the sales order, it tells you how many transactions you have per month and all the details of the license is available. It's very clear. Of course, unlimited user access. Not all vendors from ERP provide this type of access, and full adapt and customize. We tend in implementations try not to do customization, but we all know in real world this has to happen sometimes in certain scenarios. So very, very flexible when it comes to that piece. And of course, there are no long-term commitment, and you have access to the solution can be in a public or a private cloud. That's also an option that you have. APIs. You saw that slide that Luis presented, where very flexible, where you can integrate with other solutions. Security model. We talked a lot about security today. And you own and access your own data. That's another piece. And take advantage of all knowledge. We'll talk about community in the next slide and how that will help you. And of course, we have professional online training. And we'll also talk about this when we get to the community page. Is there anything you want to add on this one? Yeah, I think did I miss? Oh, yeah. All right. So we'll talk. There's more details on the next slide about how when customer speaks, Acumatica listens, and that's what's going to get us also to the community. So we have our community website. I highly recommend that you go there and you browse it. It's a pretty good and it's very useful. If you go in there, you will find first you will have that search button, so you can ask for anything you want just by searching, right? Just like when you search in Google. But also you will find different tiles where you can get into news, product updates, discussion forum. This is huge because a lot of customers and partners have different opinions and they want to add. And the biggest one is product ideas. This is a big thing that Acumatica has, where you can put any idea you have. If you feel like any changes in the software or anything that can be added, that's your opportunity. Because what will happen is once you put that idea, you will have others that will vote on, right? And our developers product team will look at this seriously and start prioritizing for the next release what they're going to be looking at, right? So let's say they have 200 ideas, right? So it will be prioritized based on how many people voted on it. And I know we have numbers from 23, I think there were like 700 ideas that was proposed. 200 of these 700 became part of the next release because they were on the top priorities. So it's a pretty handy where it gets the community getting everybody together, customers, partners, developers, and Acumatica employees as well. Because we do this, like when we have an implementation and we see some things, like, it would be nice if we had a side panel, we've seen some customers see this easier. So, okay, let's put that an idea and let's get our product team on it. And of course, we have that community portal that we talked about. There's number here. It's kind of old number from 2022, but it says like we had 16,000 members, 40,000 posts, and 1.5 million logins in 2022.
As I mentioned before, the Acumatica community is really the best thing in as Acumatica, because we are all in this together. I've been I've been working with Acumatica for all these years, more than 10 years. And what I makes me more proud is how open the company is, how open to listen to our customers. And Matt was talking about product ideas, but we also receive. I've been working with support, so I'm on the first line of receiving, let's call it feedback from
That's a nice way to put it. Yeah.
from
Feedback, yeah.
opportunities to improve from our customers and partners. And I'm very happy to see that, and also I train my team to be on the customer side, but at the same time be on the product side. How can we make the product better? We have to listen to our customers. We have to listen what they are really, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are using the software. Sometimes when we have some deals and we are working with acquiring an ERP, the owner is involved, the CFO, and all these people that are going to pay for the software, right? But we forget about the end user. The end user is the one that is going to use the software in order to do their job. Their job is not to learn or be an expert in the product. Their job is to collect money if you are working on accounts receivable, pay money if you are on accounts payable, or control the inventory if you are on a warehouse management. So it's really important that we focus on the user, not just the business as it is. The user is important. And believe me, we have heard the users so many times, and that has helped to make the product better. Because we don't focus on just an idea. Oh, I think it would be great if you have that. No, we also hear about, I think that you can improve what you already have. Today, you have to go through this, and the process is cumbersome, it's slow, it's so complex, and so on. So we send that over to our engineering team, and they, throughout all these years I've seen it, I have proved that some things that were not great at the beginning have been better now. And that's really, really important. And that comes from our users. And that's why we are focused on our Acumatica community. We are really open. We are not a know-it-all. You're wrong, I'm right. Not even close. We are on this together. We have this problem, we have this technology, we have all these things. Let's make it good for everybody, especially the end user that is going to live. Because of course, you invest a good amount of money and the end user will say this thing doesn't work. But we have to see why, right? Or perhaps the openness of the user to evolve, and there's a change management involved. And that is a big part of this with their implementations and everything. But it's really important to talk about the community, to talk about how we can make everything better. We know the product, we know the functionality, we know the features, but we don't know your business, we don't know your operations, we don't know your processes. So if we are in this together, we can evolve and make a better product in the future, in the near years.
Yeah, and just to echo, like we learned this also from experience, years of experience, and we always from the implementation side, when we get like for the kickoff meeting and we get everybody in the team, we ask about end users. We want to have at least one of the SMEs involved, because it often happens when the CFO likes the software, sign on it, and disappears, right? And then the team will not know exactly what we're doing. We have only the controller, for example, and few few stakeholders from the customer side, but we call it out, like bring the end users here at least to see the process before we actually move into next. So it's very critical. The next slide here, we have Acumatica Cares. That shows, the values and what Acumatica stands for. I have also some numbers here to share, like we have 100% carbon neutral through offsetting and other measures, saving 95% average in tech emission, and we have more than 2,500 trees have been planted as part of marketing initiatives. So that's Acumatica, part of Acumatica's values. And this slide, that's you've been hearing Luis and myself talking. This number speaks for themselves, right? This is what makes us really proud and comfortable talking about how Acumatica work with customers and partners to get. I mean, these numbers we announced, like that was last year, 10K plus customers. Anybody familiar with the NPS, Net Promoter Score? I'm sorry. So this is where it's a one question that would you recommend Acumatica, right? So there's a calculation behind it. If you rate 9, 10, that will be a promoter. If you rate 6 or below, then you are a detractor or something like that. So this calculate the percentage between the two, and having 34, this is a huge. I mean, this number could go to -100 as well as -100. So we are in the positive, and we are in the first, like this would be up 80 percentile or something like that. ISVs, integrated software vendor, right?
Yeah.
That's what it stands for. So we have 290 ISVs. This is where, that goes back to the API that we talked about, how easy we can integrate with, how it's open to integrate with other solutions. And here you have 300 billion, it's hard for me to say that number, $300 billion transactions in system per year. So these numbers show how this growth and how everything we talked about in terms of customer focus, solution focus, that's what get us to these numbers, and it's growing rapidly. It is the fastest growing cloud ERP company in the past 8 years. And that next slide will actually show different awards and recognitions that we get. That first one on the left side, on the construction side. This one, I wish if we had it bigger, because that shows where Acumatica stands in terms of, like on a leader. You can see it's right on the top. And these coordinate, I can't read it from here either, but it looks good. Let's put it that way. All right. Champions in 2023, and we are leaders for mid-market in Canada. And as you see, best relationship, best value for price. So again, the slide speaks for itself, and the numbers, and that's what I had. You want to go ahead and
No, this is just the end result of everything that we've been trying to do overall the technology world, the ERP world, to be in there, as Matt said, on this particular side of the graph. It's really, really hard to get. It took a lot of work, a lot of years, and now we are so proud to be there and staying there, because it's not just, oh yeah, we made it, now what? No, we have to keep working in order to continue being there, and to be there for other competitors or the products. It took forever, and they're now on the down part of that particular slide. Okay, now let me continue. We to talk about the actual functionality. As we mentioned before, we have ISVs that will help and complement the product. We have horizontal, like finance, distribution. That's our main goal. But we have ISVs that can accomplish the vertical. How we are built, or what do we want to help cover with Acumatica ERP as it is. We have the manufacturing edition. Anybody here manufactures? Yeah. One, construction edition, any construction focused companies? No. Distribution, I think everybody does distribution. You're just shy, I don't want to raise your hand, but I know for a fact that everybody does distribution, and of course, retail, e-commerce, right? So all these additions that we do have out of the box embedded in the software will help any customer, any business to actually fit on what they need, what they do. Yeah.
There's one more professional services edition.
I'm quite a professional service, yes, of course.
That's good.
Yes, which is brand new, that's why I keep now forgetting. But all these additions will help you. It doesn't matter what your business is about. It doesn't matter what you're focused on. We have this 4+1 edition that will help you. And of course, if that does not help, we have ISPs that will help you fill those gaps that you might find. We will have an open technology that will help you customize whatever you might need that is not included. But it's really, really hard. If you are a small and medium business and you're starting your digital transformation, I don't think that is much of a need to start. With the growth, yes, but to start with finance and distribution, I think it will fit perfectly fine. Now, I listed some of the pains of each particular edition that we naturally out of the box help you with. We start, for example, with manufacturing, IT costs, that affects all the additions, manual processes also. So when you are working in a manufacturing, you have a lot of pages, a lot of forms that you need to fill out. And of course, that becomes a problem throughout your manufacturing process. Then go from the same thing to cover for some pains with Acumatica distribution. I wanted to share this with you today to have a little idea. Of course, these are like maybe 10, 12 pains that we listed there, but for sure there are a lot more, or perhaps there are something that you really need to fit out to cover on every single edition that we have. Now, also we have, this is construction, same thing. I will give you a little chance of reading throughout the list, but construction is very particular because that involves projects, that involves payroll and all those things that when you are working on a construction project. So this one is a huge deal nowadays for us because it's big. It's big in terms of information that it helps our customers, and it's big in terms of functionality that helps our customers. So this is a lot of functionality included in the construction. Not saying that the other ones have less, but of course this one is pretty big as well as manufacturing. Retail nowadays. Everybody wants to be on the cloud and everybody wants to be on e-commerce. Amazon, Shopify, BigCommerce, all those companies and businesses that are actually focused on having something easy for our customers to purchase with. So we will help. We have this functionality that has that or pulls that information from these softwares that are already there in the market, and then they pull it into the application, and then you can have, again, one source of truth. It's not just about having a BigCommerce or Shopify software somewhere else. And you have to have a database, and you have to have a different inventory or warehouse to focus on that particular need. You have the exact same thing that you see on your office, and the exact same thing that a customer or a prospect will find for you for their needs. So we have the retail one, and at the end of the day, I wanted to close the presentation with, we are, as I mentioned before, we are a Acumatica community, and we are on this together. And we are building the future of business together. This is what we are aiming for, aiming to. We want to work with you. We want to work together in order to help you out to evolve into this digital era, technology-wise, to be more efficient into all the business with Acumatica. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for your time, for your attention. Thanks for coming. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. Have any questions?